part of my interest with running for the office of sheriff was to kind of reunify the command of the sheriff's office and make a more efficient footprint, the best I could do, within my means. I met with the builders on site, and if you look at the map, the front part of the area would be like an investigative suite. With this, we would have the VSET, Drug Task Force, our county investigation, the BCA investigative team, our child forensic investigating team, and together we would open an Internet Crimes Against Child investigative suite. It would have an actual observation area for interviews. So this is kind of like the cutting edge of investigation, and I got input from BCA and my child forensic and ICAC investigations. Then we moved back to the next area would be our dispatch and IT server equipment storage. It would be a potential six station dispatch, which would leave 2 stations always up for upgrade or equipment downtime, with a staff break room and an EOC or training area, 64 occupant training area, which I think is something we lack in this footprint, as far as this would be the only large meeting area. So, and with a meeting room off of that. And then we have our Amber Alert area, EOC office, vestibule, janitorial offices, and another small conference area out in the hallway that it would share towards the new jail facility. Some of the other upgrades I see in this is we're in a building that we own, so I can use my E911 funds for mechanical needs to the building. So that E911 fund is pretty healthy right now, and it can handle upgrade costs to the mechanical and upgrade parts for dispatch. I've met with the same consultant that built out our 800 megahertz radio system, and he gave his nod of approval on this as far as what my thought is for dispatch. And I got a bid from DCS Communications to move dispatch back. The tower move was the most expensive part, and I can cover that in E911 funds. It was about $80,000 roughly. The way I feel is there'd be a immediate return on investment by moving dispatch back, and continuity of those I supervise.
Totally agree with Joe's comment on continuity. Having come from the department, that was a big thing, and I wasn't so strong on moving dispatch out, but we were kind of in a pinch with the next gen coming in and not having enough space. So what do you do? So the question I have with, we see the price tag here, the estimated price tag. What amount of your 911 funds would be able to be applied to that?
So, first I'd add that this is within the scope, but to answer that too, we could use 100% of the E911 funds. Okay. So, close to half.
Okay. And then the question to Brett then, would this fall under, because I think we're going to start engaging in a new CIP discussion, or how would this come in, the rest of it come into play?
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, that certainly could be under a CIP. Absolutely is legal for that. The big question really is, this is where probation was going to go. And so we got to figure out where we're going to put probation. So not only our county probation, The state probation, we told them that they would be able to move in here too, so there's just a further decision down the line about where that's gonna happen, so on top of the prices, you know, we gotta figure that out too.
Department of Corrections moved.
They're out on McKinney Lake
I thought,
currently. Yep.
using the Woodland complex.
Yes.
I'll just give you one other bit of advice. You have a server equipment room, which will need heavy air conditioning.
2 units typically in those for redundancy, so.
Correct.
Absolutely.
You are on the inside of a building. Might want to think about shoving it on the outside of the building wall. That means some people might not get an office with a window,
Correct.
but you might save some money because your air conditioning units don't have so far to go. They just need to go through a wall.
Correct.
Okay.
And before the change order, there was a server room in
Okay.
this area as well.
All right, so just,
Not in that specific.
that still helps save a little bit of money that way without trying to get, you know, an air conditioning unit to pump air into the middle of the building. So a lot easier to get it on an outside wall of some sort. More questions?
Well, I
Commissioners?
personally think it warrants, further discussion rather than just, bring it to the board and show us a change order. Because, we have promised the public that part of our deal was that the probation would be moved in and that real estate would go for sale.
I briefly spoke with Kevin, and the current county attorney's office is a good possibility for county probation.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, it's a little more discussion.
No, we had ideas of renting out to the state too.
Yeah, that return on investment, that would be in like 50 to 75 years based on the amount they pay. So I figured it'd be more cost effective to move dispatch back.
50 years, I love it. Thank you, Joe.
Being
Thank you
real.
for putting it in the straight.
Being real,
Oh,
yeah.
no. I hear you. I hear you.